Alrighty guys, welcome to another episode with Handyman Dan. On today's episode we are doing the oil and oil filter change on a dirt bike. It's a YZ250F. So yeah, follow along and hope you learn some tips and tricks and it makes it easier for you to do something like that in the future. Alrighty, so before doing any oil change you just want to start the bike, warm it up, get all the oil moving, get the oil heated up just so it drains quicker and smoother from the system. So we'll just quickly do that now. We'll start the bike. So you know, you've let it idle for a minute, it's all warmed up, you can get ready. And so for this you'll need a 12mm spanner and an 8mm spanner, a catch can, and then another oil filter and some oil to go in it. So first you can start off by undoing this bolt here, which is on the sump. So that on this YZ250F is a 12mm, and you can get your catch ready. I'm just going to reposition the bike so then the motor's sitting on an angle like that, just then it drains out the back of the sump better. So as you can now see the bike sitting, on an angle like that, so that means that rear sump will drain heaps easier. So yeah, we can undo that. We'll just get some rags ready. I just like to put one on the ground under where we're doing it, just to make clean up a little bit easier if some does spill. So you can get your 12mm spanner and crack this off. Just undo it by hand. Get your catch can ready. Just feel for the last thread. It should be good to pull out. There we go. And perfect. Straight into the catch can like that. As you can see, that's just the oil draining out. The oil's nice and warm but not hot. Basically, yeah, we just chase that to where it's ending up. So another thing you can do is replace this copper crush washer. I haven't done mine on this bike for probably 30 to 50 hours, so you don't have to do them every single change, just every now and then. So I'll do this one this time around. So pretty much the washer can just come off like so. Basically get another one. So there we have the brand new washer, and that just sits straight on like that. Easy as that. But yeah, probably, I don't know, every 30 hours you can replace that. Okay, now that's slowed down to a drip. So I'm just pushing the bike over a little bit just to get that last little bit of oil. So now we'll grab our fresh crush washer on our sump plug and we'll just thread that back in. Thread that back in, give the area around there a quick clean. We can move the catch little drum container out of the way. And then grab your 12, nip it back up. Firm, doesn't need to be super tight, it's just a little, perfect. Clean it all up again. We'll just quickly tip this old oil into a container, so then it's empty for when we do the filter, just then the filter, if it does fall in there, doesn't splash and put oil everywhere. So just got this old oil container and we'll just dip it into there. So as you can see, that oil is fairly dirty. It's not super dirty, it's still a little bit golden. But yeah, it's definitely due for a change. I try and do it every 6 to 8 hours, depending on the riding. If it's really hard riding, I'll do it every ride. But if it's, not too bad, then sweet. So that one pretty much done. Alright. So now we'll come around and do the oil filter. So for the oil filter, we just need to undo these two here, which are both 8s. But yeah, I like to just lean the bike over when I do this. So I'm just going to reposition the bike a little bit and then we'll get it set up. Just then the oil dripples straight out and doesn't run down all the motor and everything. So as you can see, I've got the bike leant over. And so now we can proceed to do this oil filter. So just got a 8mm spanner. Just undo this. So just finish undoing both of these. We'll get our rag underneath again. So just put a rag down underneath, just to catch any oil that goes anywhere. Take out both of those. Okay, and then I get your catch can and position that just underneath. So there's your filter. Now we'll just give all this a little clean with a rag. There's this little O-ring around the filter housing here. You don't need to replace this every time. I haven't replaced this for I don't know, maybe 10 oil changes, something like that, but some are better than others. These are genuine Yamaha ones, so they do last a bit longer. But yeah, you don't have to do it every single time, but you just recommended doing because sometimes you'll get the oil leaking around here once you've done the oil filter. But yeah, it's up to you, but I'm going to do this one because I haven't done it for a while. So you just need a small flat blade screwdriver, you just slip it under, and it just pops right out. And then you just need to get another one. This is just a genuine Yamaha one. We just put a little bit of oil. There is a little bit of oil in and around where it sits in that groove. Just quickly clean it out with a rag. It's all clean, and then we'll just dab a little bit of oil in there. And then you can get your new O-ring, and that just slides on, and we'll just roll over. Just like that, and then it'll be all seated nicely. I'll just spin it around a little bit, just to coat it all with oil. A little dab, not much, I'm just literally putting a tiny little dab on my finger, and just run that around. Okay, that's ready to go back on. We'll just get our oil filter, brand new fresh oil filter. The orientation, you can see in there, there's that little stub. That little stub slides in this hole, so that just goes like that, and then you just need to have the cap on. So set it like that, slide it up and in, and then rotate it to where the bolt holes line up, and push it in like that. Perfect. And then you can get your bolts. And so you notice how this bike's leant over, so there was a couple drips of oil from this point, but it just dripped down straight onto the rag that was on the ground instead of running down the subframe and the motor there, so it makes life a lot easier. Okay, we'll just give it a little clean up with a rag. Old oil filter can go in the new oil filter box, and we'll just give this a little bit of a wipe with the rag, tighten it up. So these are the same, they just want to be firm but not too tight. So, nip. Same with this one, just a little nip. Perfect, that's all that done. Another quick little clean up and good to go. Alright, so now that's all done. Now we can top it back up with oil. So just undo the oil fill cap like that, and we'll just give that a little bit of a clean up. Trying not to brush any of the dirt in. Cool, that's all pretty clean. So now we can top this up with oil. It takes 900 ml when you're doing the filter as well. So we've got our oil here. Okay, so it takes about 900 ml. So on this, we are just below the 2. Just below the 2 there, so somewhere around the 1 pretty much be perfect. So we'll just check that as we pour it in. We'll do a check. Okay, so about halfway there. Okay, yeah, so we're just above the 1 now. So we'll leave it as that. We can check it as well using the sight glass. So we're in between the 2 lines. It's probably a little bit low, so I might just put the tiniest little bit back in just because the filter will soak up a bit. So we just do a little bit more, another couple seconds. 2, 3. Yep, so that should be sweet. And then if you look here, so we're right in between the range, so that's good enough for me. We will just clean the excess oil up here, and then we'll just run it over, and that'll be that. Okay, chuck this dust cap back on, pull the choke out, and we'll just give it a quick kick over. Okay, so once you've let it run for a few moments, then you can go through and just check, make sure there's no leaks. So you just want to check that sump plug and then the oil filter like housing around the other side as well. It's all bone dry, nothing's weeping. So now the bike's been sitting for a few minutes, it's roughly level. As you can see, the oil line is pretty much halfway between the 2. You could put a splash more in it if you want to, but I wouldn't worry. So I hope you guys found that helpful and gave you the confidence to do your own oil change on your dirt bike or something like that. But yeah, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.